Hello, everyone. You're welcome to Vap Fashion's YouTube channel. My name is Eunice. In this video, I'll be sharing with you how I made this beautiful and elegant cow bubu kaftan. This is really simple to make. You can make this in less than 30 minutes. Yes, you can cut and sew this in less than 30 minutes. And this is really giving the rich auntie vibe. I hope this is something you're interested in learning. Make sure to keep on watching till the end. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please click on the subscribe button to subscribe. Ensure you put on your notification bell so you get a notification every time I upload a new video. Thank you, and let's get right into the video. So these are the materials I'll be using for this bubu. This is Ankara fabric, also known as African print. And then here I have this sample lace. And I also have this shiny bias. I have 3 yards of the shiny bias. So to get started, I'll open up my fabric like this. You can see that this is the entire length of Ankara. So this will not be enough to give me the full length of this gown. So I'll have to turn it horizontally. I'll be folding it selvage to selvage. Okay, so here I have my fabric on fold. I cut out 2 pieces of this 63 inches so that one can serve as the back. This is the back and this is going to be the front. So this is the folded part. So this is my center front and center back. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is to draw the shoulder line, which is the starting line. Okay, so having drawn the shoulder line, I'm going to mark 3 inches here on the shoulder line from the center front. And then I'll come down to this side. This is the open side, so this is our side here, side front and side back. So at this side, I will come down by 1.5 inches for the shoulder slant. Then I'll go ahead and connect the 2 points. So now this is our shoulder slant. So the next thing I'm going to do is to mark from the shoulder line. I'm going to mark the hip line, and my hip line is 25 inches. So this is 25 inches here. Next, I'm going to mark my knee line. My knee line is 38 inches. So my actual knee line is 40 inches. I'm marking 2 inches above my knee line. So that is 38 inches. And next is the full length of the gown, which is 60 plus my hemming allowance. So I'm going to mark my hemming allowance. I'm adding a hemming allowance of 3 inches. I want to fold. I want the fold and the fold at the down part to be bold. Okay, so I haven't marked out all my lines. So at this side where we have our shoulder slant, I'll be coming down by a sleeve opening of 10 inches. So I'll mark 10 inches here. At this point where I mark 10 inches, I will go in by 1 inch. And then I'm going to slant it to meet the shoulder slant. So I'll mark it this way. Okay, so after doing that, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in by 1 inch at this point. And you see, from this 1 inch point now, I'm going in by 1 inch again. And you see, so I just went in by 1 inch. So I'll go ahead and create a curve here. So to create that cow-shaped curve, this is what I'm going to do. This is the hip line and this is the knee line. Now, on the knee line, I'm going to enter my hip measurement divided by 4. My actual hip measurement is 50, so divided by 4 is 12.5. So I'll mark 12.5. So at this point, I'm going to add 2 inches. Can you see? So I've marked 2 inches. Can you see? So this 2 inches is for my stitching allowance and also for ease around the knee. So I'll be shaping on 1 inch. Okay? So now I'm just going to take note of the measurement I have here, which is 14.5 inches. My hip measurement divided by 4 is 12.5 plus 2 inches, so that's 14.5 inches. So I will mark the same measurement at the hem of the gown. So I'll use my straight ruler to connect the 2 points. That's from the hem to the knee line. Okay, so having connected the points, now to create our cowl shape, I'm going to take the measurement I have from the hip line to the knee line. I'll measure the distance. So from here to here, I have 13 inches. I'm going to get the midpoint of this 13 inches. So the midpoint is 6.5. So this is 6.5 here. So now I'll go ahead and then create a curved shape from here to meet this point. Can you see this 1 inch I came in by initially? So now I'm going ahead to create a curved shape to meet this point. Can you see? So now I'm getting to that my 6 inches. So I'll curve it to meet that 6 inches. Can you see? So then I'm going to curve it to come down towards the knee. Did you see what I just did? So I curved it to come down towards the knee. So in a situation where you want it to be very wide, all you need to do is to take the measurement you have here, then bring it down to this side, and then begin to curve around this side. Did you see? So you can see this one that is outer here is wider than the one inside. So all I did was to just use my hand to curve it this way. So you just want to make sure that it blends in well at the knee area, okay? So but I want to use the inner one. I don't want this big. So I'll be cutting on this one. So now we're going to mark our neckline before we go ahead, and I'll be using a neck depth of 1 inch for the back. So I'll mark a depth of 1 inch and a neck width of 3.5 inches. So I'll go ahead and connect the points like this. So this is our neck depth for the back. So for the front, I'll be working with a neck depth of 6 inches. So I'll also go ahead and curve it like this. So you can use your pattern master, you can use your freehand, just make sure that you are doing it correctly. This is a U neckline, you can see it came out well. Okay, so now on the shoulder line, I will go up by ½ inch. This ½ inch is for stitching the front and back together. So I'm marking my ½ inch. So this is basically it for this gown. Okay, so now another thing I want to do is to create my slit allowance. This gown is going to have slits at the down part. So from the full length here, I will go up by 13 inches. That's including my hemming allowance, okay? So I'm going up by 13 inches. So at this 13 inches part, I will come out by 1 inch. So this is now my slit allowance. So I'm adding 1 inch here at this side. So you can see how it just comes out at that point. So now I'll bring in my scissors so that we can go ahead and cut. I'll be cutting on the extra ½ inch I added on the shoulder slant. This is for joining the front and back shoulders together. So I'll go ahead and cut on the back neckline since the back is higher. And then I'll come to this side and cut here. You see? So I'll go in around this part to that 1 inch, and then I'll go ahead and start cutting out the cowl shape. Okay, so you can see I've gotten to that slit allowance, so I'll have to come outward here by that 1 inch. And you see, so you can see the shape I have. So it just gives you that cowl shape around here. So this totally depends on how full you want it to be. Can you see what I have? So the next thing I'm going to do is to separate the front from the back so that we can cut the front neckline. Don't mistakenly cut the both of them together, okay? Because the front is deeper. So I'm going ahead to cut the U neckline. And here we are. You can see. So this is what our neckline in front looks like. So now I'm going to keep the back piece aside. We're going to be having a lace placed at the center front. So this is just a leftover lace. So I'm just going to fold it into two like this. Okay, so as you can see, I folded my lace fabric, and the width I have here on fold is 9 inches. So this is enough. So I'll place the front piece on top of it like this. And then I'm going to take out the shoulder slant. Then I will cut the neckline. Okay. Okay, so having cut out the neckline, so at this point where this 9 inches, this is where I want it to be. Okay. Now from the shoulder line, I'm going to measure down to 19 inches. This totally depends on how long you want the lace that you're going to place in front to be. So this is 19 inches here. So I'll use my straight ruler to connect from this point to the width here. So you can see the idea is to have this V shape. So I'll go ahead and cut it. Can you see? So this is what I want to have in front of our front piece. And see, so we're going to have it sitting like this in front. And see, so this is the V shape we're going to have. And then we're going to place our bias on top of it. So now this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to use my hemming gum to gum it down. This will help keep it in place so that it doesn't shift when we are sewing, okay? So you need hemming gum to gum it down. So here I have my black hemming gum. So I'm just going to place it underneath. You want to make sure that the V shape, let me open up the gown very well. You want to make sure that the V shape is exactly at the center. And here I have my crease line so I can see. You want to just make sure that the V shape is exactly at the center, okay? So I'll place it here. Okay, so now that we have it exactly at the middle here, so I'm going to use my steam iron to press it down. Now we have it, so I don't really have any excess here, so I can just gum the neckline as well. So this will just keep the lace in place. You can see I have successfully stuck the lace to the Ankara fabric. So now the next thing to do is to cut the facing of both the front and back. Okay, so I have my leftover fabric on fold. So now I've also folded the front piece into two to cut the front facing. So this facing is like, it's just a lining, okay? But since it is not full, it's just the neckline, so we call it facing. So you can see, I'll go ahead and cut out the exact neckline I have here. Can you see? So I'll give the facing any shape I want to give it. So you can see, it doesn't have to be too long. So this is just enough to go down to and just turn the neckline well. So if you want to take the measurement you have here, I just have 5 inches. So this is enough to turn the neckline. So exactly what I have done here, I will repeat for the back. Okay, so now there's something you need to do. It is good for your facings to match up. So when you place them like this and you notice that one is bigger, you can just reduce the bigger one. So I'm just reducing the front piece so that they match up at the shoulder where we are joining them together. So that's that about the cutting part. So this is our front piece. I'm going to have this shiny bias placed on the front piece. So this is what I'm going to do. On this side, this is the left hand side, I'll place the shiny bias like this, stitch it and stop at this point where the V shape ends. Then stitch again and stop here at this point. So let's cut it out. So this is where it ends. I'm just going to leave a little excess so that I don't have a shortage. Can you see? So but at this particular end here, this V shape, you want to make sure that it matches up with the V shape we have here. Can you see what I'm doing? So I'm cutting it to match up with the V shape I have here. So I can also just use my hemming gum to place this down too. This will make it really easy to sew, okay? So I'll just place hemming gum so that I don't have to pin it. And this will actually give you a neater outcome and a flat look. So this side you can see is slanted, so it fits into the V shape. You see, so I'm placing it at the tip, so it's covering the edges of the lace. I'll also use my iron to press it down. So as you can see, this one is stuck already. So now this side, this is the side that will go all the way down to the hem of the gown. So let's open up the gown completely so that we can see. Can you see? So I'm going to have this one now come from this side. From this side, can you see now is overlapping on top of this, so it will cover up the edge of this one. Can you see what I have here? And then I'll have it go all the way down to the hem of the gown. So it will go all the way down at the middle here. You see? So this is basically it. So you will notice that at this side is giving us like a Y shape. So now this is where you will need to arrange it well. Can you see? So I'm going to do something like this to have it folded inwards. But you don't need to do it in a way to show. Let's press it. You're going to see it and everything will come out well. So I'm going to also take it off and place my hemming gum. So I'll place a hemming gum from here and then place it all the way down to the hem of the gown. From here. So this is shiny bias. So I'm going to place it right on top of the hemming gum. Then I'll begin to stick. Press it this way. You see? So now this is the side I was talking about that is sensitive. Can you see? So you just want to arrange it well around this side. You don't want it to gather. Can you see? You don't want it to fold. So to avoid that fold, can you see how I stretched it out? So you don't need to stitch that side. If you can do it correctly, it will come out well without you having to stitch it. Can you see? So that place will look stretched, but you don't have to fold anything. Can you see what I have? Can you see? It just flows. It will just curve well like a normal Y shape or a Y, normal letter Y. Okay? So I'll go ahead and keep pressing it all the way down to the hem of the gown. See, I have pressed my shiny bias down to the hem of the gown. So I'll just go ahead and take out the excess. So when cutting out the excess, don't cut exactly at the point where it ends. That's just to be on the safe side. When you are done, you can now cut it out. That's after you have finished stitching. Okay? So now the next thing I am going to do is to take this to my sewing machine. And then I'm going to make a top stitch here. I'm going to stitch at this edge first, then I'll stitch on this side second. Then I'll go ahead and stitch at this side all the way down to the hem. I'll repeat the same thing on this side. The essence of stitching is so that you keep it permanently, because this hemming gum is not a permanent hemming gum, so you don't want to finish and then when you wash it will just go off. But using your hemming gum to stick it, this just keeps your work neat and in place. Okay, so after stitching the bias, I'm going to place the facing, the front facing on the front neckline like this, and then I'm going to stitch round the neckline. Okay, and I'm going to repeat the same thing for the back. All I need to do is to just place the facing on the back and then stitch around the back, then join the shoulders. Then I'll come back and show us the next thing to do. So as you can see, I'm done joining the shoulders. That's after I top stitched the shiny bias on the inside. I went ahead to turn the neckline with my facing like I already told us, and I have joined the shoulders. I also went ahead to weave it, and you see, then I used my hemming gum to press down the facing. This is to keep it intact, so you can see everything is looking intact. I also went ahead to hem the down, that's the hem the opening of the sleeve on both sides. The sleeve openings, I've hemmed it already. So the next thing we're going to do is to shape this gown. So here you can see I have marked my 1 inch, which I told us that's my great stitching allowance. And you see, so from the sleeve opening here, I marked 1 inch and I curved it into the gown this way. And you see, all the way, and I stopped exactly at the point where the slit is starting from. Okay, so I'm going to stitch like this, following this shape. Can you see I'm coming in this way 1 inch, and then I'll curve it down following the shape. I'll stop where my slit stops. I'll do the same thing on the other side. Then I'll weave it and come and show us how to treat the slit allowance, and then we'll go ahead and hem the gown. As you can see, I'm done stitching it and I went ahead to weave it. So when weaving, try to go in around this area. This will actually give you that flat look. You understand what I'm talking about when we turn it out to the right side to press it. So when weaving, just try to curve in more so that you don't have up to 1 inch around here, so that it doesn't fold when you press it. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to do is to hem that's to fold the slit. You can see where my stitch stopped. I wove up until this point and I stopped here. So now for the slit, remember I have 1 inch first. So I'll first of all fold that 1 inch like this, and then I will fold 1 inch again. Remember my sewing allowance is 1 inch, so this is the slit allowance. I'll fold the first one and then I will fold in 1 inch. So by folding in 1 inch again, it will now align with my stitch line. Okay, so that's it. So I'll fold it this way. So I'll repeat the same thing on the other side. Fold 1 inch first and then fold in again so that it aligns with the stitch line. As you can see, I'm done ironing it, and this is what we have now. Can you see? So now this is how I'm going to sew it. Let me open it up so that we can see this way. I'm going to take this to my sewing machine. I'll start stitching from here. I'll stitch at the tip this way. Make sure that it's open like this. Can you see? Then when I get to this side, I will make a turn here. Can you see? I'll start from here, then make a turn here, and then stitch it this way down. So this way you neatly finish off your slit or your vent. Okay, so exactly what I'm doing here, I'm going to repeat it on the other side. Then I'll go ahead and hem the
Okay, so this is the
with my
final
hemming allowance.
outcome
I'll press
of
it
our
and show
cow
us the
bubu
final outcome.
kaftan. Can you see how beautiful it turned out? These clothes fit so well. It's giving the rich auntie vibe. This is really beautiful. Like I said, it is simple to make. You can make these in less than 30 minutes, both cutting and sewing. Okay? This is really, really beautiful. I enjoyed making this outfit and I really love the fit on me. I hope you also enjoyed watching this video and you learned something. If you did, please make sure to like this video, share this video with your friends, and do not forget, please do not forget to subscribe if you have not subscribed yet. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye.